Good day, everyone. In this news article that I'll be covering now, you will see that we're in for a fight with a line that's been drawn in the sand. And yes, it's our government implementing this, but it's their puppet masters telling them to do so. And in this video, I will explain to you the plan that's being implemented via our government to disarm the innocent citizens of South Africa. And not only South Africa, but the rest of the world. This is a worldwide agenda. It comes from the United Nations, and we have to stop them dead in their tracks. So, in this article that is in sanews.gov.za, you will see it's a South African government site, SA News. The headline reads, Firearms Amendment Bill Strengthening Gun Control Legislation, says Bheki Cele. And you have to see what's going on in his mind, because remember, he's just been told what to do. He's just a puppet in this. And I don't know what is going to happen with this video on YouTube, but remember, I'm also on Odyssey. So if something happens, you'll be able to view it there. And everything is copied across to there. And thank you to everyone that is subscribed to the channel. We've grown tremendously in the last couple of days. I hope it's not just trolls and or bots. But it's very important in this phase we're going into now that we launch a coordinated campaign against our government that wants to take your right away to defend yourself with a firearm. We already don't have that right under the Constitution, but now they want to remove it from law, which means that this new bill that they're trying to pass will not give you the right to own a firearm for self-defense at all. And this is in line with the United Nations agenda. Police Minister Bheki Cele has expressed satisfaction at the thousands of submissions already made to the Firearms Control Amendment Bill 2021. Since the bill was published in the Gazette for comments on Friday, 21st of May 2021, over 17,000 written submissions have been received. This number is growing by the day, the ministry said in a statement. Now, we're going to up that right now. In fact, we want to do what it takes to make their public participation process pointless, because we as the people of South Africa will have the last say, because we should be the government, not them, and they're not going to dictate to us. The Firearms Control Amendment Bill 2021 replaces the Firearms Control Amendment Bill of 2015 that was submitted to Cabinet in February of 2015. Cele encourages citizens to make use of the legislative process that seeks to mold the Firearms Control Bill. He makes it sound very innocent, so please stay with me. I'm going to get to the part that is the crux of the matter and the way that they are thinking and where the UN words come into the whole discussion. I quote Bheki Cele here, the interest and vast number of comments received so far indicates that South Africans are making their voices heard in this matter. We urge the public to continue with this momentum. And then I quote him again, all comments will be scrutinized and those considered useful will be incorporated to strengthen the provisions of the bill, Cele said. So what he's saying here is that they will decide which comments are useful and which are not. Reiterating the rationale behind the proposed changes, the ministry said the Amendment Bill 2021 seeks to amend and strengthen the Firearms Control Act of 2000. I quote him, the proposed amendments to respond to the overarching policy principles of non-proliferation of firearms in South Africa and the strengthening of the processes relating to the application for firearms and ammunition licenses and the management of firearms and ammunition. And I continue quoting him, South Africans should take comfort in the fact that the proposed amendments were not taken lightly. Extensive research, consultations with various stakeholders, the United Nations, and their crony organizations preceded the proposed amendments, the statement said. Cele said the amendment should not be interpreted as though government is looking into disarming citizens. That is exactly what it is. Why else would he say that? Here is the crux. And this is a quote. And I really want you to share this video. I want this video to go viral. I will later interview the founder of hashtag Leave Our Guns Alone, who was also the founder of hashtag Leave Our Kids Alone, which was successful in stopping government from forcing teachers to roll out comprehensive sexuality education, to take it from being compulsory to being voluntary. This is not good enough. We need to change the entire governance system. But here is why we need to change the governance system. And I've been speaking about this in my meetings extensively. I quote Becky Cele, "There is no right to bear arms in our Constitution, and the Firearms Control Act in its current form grants no such right to citizens either. You have no right. Owning a gun is in this country remains a privilege made possible through the Firearms Control Act, and they're going to take more of your privilege away." He said, adding that arming citizens would not solve the country's high crime rate. Now, anyone with half a brain cell will know that criminals will get firearms whether they are licensed or not. Do you think they're running around with licensed firearms? Then I quote him further. "The mere possession of a firearm can lead to increased rates of victimization, both for the gun owner and those living in the household. Simply put, those proposed changes in law also has the potential to mean the difference between life and death for hundreds of women who are in the clutches of their abusers inside their own homes," Cele said. Now, if you go to the Facebook group that's been created, that's growing rapidly, it was started in the late hours of this morning. It now has over 200 members and growing rapidly. You will see that the founder of the group is saying that if women owned firearms, that there would be less domestic violence and less rape. And this is how you need to understand things. I mean, the fact that they are saying this comes from the United Nations. It's part of the Sustainable Development Goals. It's part of Agenda 21. And this is why we need the United Nations out of our country. Cabinet also approved the Protection of Constitutional Democracy Against Terrorist and Related Activities Amendment, Bill 2021. The proposed amendments seek to ensure alignment of South African legislation with international requirements in order to effectively combat terrorists and related activities, including international terrorism. We will now be seen as terrorists within the country, just for bearing firearms. Think about that. And think why the USA made the Second Amendment. It was made for a reason, 4 times like this. The police ministry said it was convinced both the Firearms Control Amendment Bill 2021 and Pork Tatara Amendment Bill 2021 are key to a safer South Africa and the world. You see, this is all about the world. It's about the large organizations that run the United Nations to control the world, to usher in a new world order. And many people say this new world order doesn't exist, that it's all nonsense. We are the order. This is an order being created amongst us where we cannot bear firearms. Both bills can be accessed on the Civilian Secretariat for the Police's website, policesecretariat.gov.za, and are open for public comment until the 4th of July 2021. While I have news for them, we will do what it takes to stop them from making this amendment. We already have some of the strictest regulations for owning firearms, and we can certainly make sure that people are trained properly to have firearms. If you look at most people with a driver's license, you are in a vehicle that weighs close on 2 tons, traveling at speed. You're allowed to do that, and people are killed more through vehicle accidents than through owning firearms. How many times have firearms saved situations and saved the loss of life? This is completely unacceptable. Becky Cele, you're going to eat your words. And we will make sure that this does not happen for all South African citizens that have the right to bear firearms. We are born with that right to defend ourselves. Our Constitution does not allow it. We will rally the people of the country to change the Constitution of South Africa within the democratic system, within the electoral system. We will make sure that we change the Constitution so that people have the right to not only bear arms, but defend themselves. We shouldn't only have a right to life, we should have the right to defend our lives. Not give government the right to do so. We don't trust you because you're not a government, you're a puppet organization. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe and click the bell icon to receive notifications for future videos. I'll put a link to the Facebook group in the description below this video. Please go and join that group and become a part of action on the ground. This will be action driven. We need the numbers first before that takes place. Thank you to everyone that has contributed towards this channel and the work that I am doing. And I really want to thank everyone that have been to my meetings and the people that will come to the future meetings, the people that are helping to organize those meetings. We'll have larger meetings in future. And in this week, we'll announce the dates for those meetings, the first meetings in Gauteng, and then as we have meetings in other provinces again. Thank you very much. Till the next video.